Kyler,
What's up, coach?
what's going on?
Nothing much. Just living my quarantine life.
Hey, I absolutely know. Um, how's everything been besides being bored?
Uh, going pretty good. I've got a lot of work in. So that's been nice.
Okay, good. So you're staying active.
Yeah.
Good. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you for joining. I'll get into my little intro and then we'll start talking. My name's Tyler Milber. I'm here with Kyler Evans, and this is Inside the Mind of an Athlete. All right, Kyler. So you are my first underclassman as a
Yeah.
junior in high school. Um, I kind of, when I was talking to the seniors, I realized at the same time it's not only them who lost the season; it's also the underclassmen, the freshmen, sophomores, juniors. So um, to kind of just pick out the seniors and say, hey, they lost the season, it's a little unfair. Now they did lose more than that, it being their senior year, but I mean everyone lost out on it. Um, and the name of this podcast is Inside the Mind of an Athlete, not of a senior. I'm honored to have you as my first underclassman because you were a big part of the Casteel volleyball team. And if I did just interview Marius last night, and when I was talking to him, I had him point out kind of who he's seen grown over the years, and he did point out Justin, but he did quote this about you, Kyler Evans. He said, Kyler Evans is one of the most dominant hitters in the state of Arizona. So, with that being said, one, how does that make you feel having a senior captain, setter especially, kind of say, like, hey, he was my go to guy? And two, what kind of motivation does it give you going into the next season?
It makes me feel really good to know that the seniors appreciate me just as much as I appreciate them. And it motivates me to like work harder and be more of like that awesome team member that everyone wants on the team. Next year I'm going to be a senior, so it's going to be one of those things where all of the kids who are going to be on varsity next year, who are younger classmen, that they're going to be looking up to me as I looked up to Marius and Hiram and Justin and all of our seniors. So like I got to be able to like set that example.
Yep, for sure, man. Um, having said that, um, you will now next year be a senior. You'll be one of the leaders. You'll be the go-to guy. Um, what is kind of your expectation for next year? Do you think you'll have a chip on your shoulder, kind of like playing for the seniors that lost their season this year? Do you think that will kind of make its way into next season, and you'll kind of drop it down on the younger kids, like, hey, we're playing for them this year? Or how do you think that's all going to play out?
I definitely think that I'm gonna try to push that like, hey, we're playing for that lost season because that's what we've been calling it. We've been calling it the lost season. But it's also something where I want to do so great next year to make sure that this year wouldn't have been a waste. Like, I know over like social media, we've all talked about how we were working hard in the weight room, off season and in season. We need to back that up next year and be like, yeah, like we still got it. We lost amazing volleyball players, but we've still got something over at Casteel.
Right. Yeah, man. Well, I love hearing that. I know us coaches are moving forward as well with it, and we're looking at the future. The future's bright at Casteel High School, especially with the senior class we got coming in next year. We did lose 8 seniors this year, which is very tough. Um, I myself, when I was a junior, my senior class ahead of me, we lost 9 seniors. So kind of like the same boat. It's like now I'm the senior. Now let's step up and be that leader for the younger guys. So I'm glad you're kind of seeing that role, accepting that role, and wanting to just be there for those kids. So let's see what else I got here. What I did say this year, we can go back on it if we want. Uh, Kyler Evans at the beginning of the year wasn't planning on playing for a little bit.
Yeah.
There was some uh, things that happened the season before that kind of upset you and kind of put you in just a small place. But how I put it towards the captains, Hiram, Justin, Marius, Coach Mine, I said, Coach Wilt, I said, Kyler Evans is the difference between making the championship and winning the championship. You're that great of a player and you're that great of an asset for the team that we have, and just as a volleyball player in general, you're all over the court. You're 6'8". I personally have never seen a 6'8" guy move like you do. We just had Hayden on a few nights ago, and he's a 7'1" monster, and he's still kind of getting into his own body, you know. And so you
Yeah.
being a junior 6'8" figure, you're comfortable in your skin, and you can move with the best of them, you know. So,
Yeah.
um, what if you don't mind, if you want to talk about the reasons why you were thinking about not playing, and then the reasons why you did play, if you want to discuss that.
Yeah, I can go into it. So, it all like it, it was a lot of freshman year as well. I didn't have the best experience with the varsity team as well as the JV team. Um, so I thought, most of my siblings, they were going to start to go to Casteel, and so it was one of those things where like it was going to be best for me to move. Well, I took it as if I move, I have to fight for a spot. I have to work my butt off. I have to be able to adapt to brand new team members who I have no idea what they're going to bring, what kind of talent they're going to have on the court. Um, and so I did that. I worked my butt off. I woke up at 5 o'clock every single day over summer, worked out, lost a bunch of weight, worked on my footwork and learning the middle position more because that was when I was more leaning towards middle. Um, and as sophomore year went on, I obviously had to sit out half the season, which I wasn't too happy about, but I was like, that's life. Like you're gonna have changes. I just was accepting that I was gonna have to sit out half the season. Um, but I still worked my butt off in practice. I looked at Ponsness and Babcock, and I was like, hey, like I have to try to beat one of them. I got to show this team that, yeah, I was a JV player last year, but I'm varsity material this year. So I worked my butt off, and I started getting a little bit of playing time, and so I was getting super stoked. I was getting pumped up. I didn't get as much playing time as I wanted, and I think what got to me was me being on the court. I was so passionate about the game that started taking a turn for the worse, where it was the coaches don't like me, my teammates don't like me, I shouldn't belong on the court, I belong on the bench, like I'm still a JV player. And so going into this season, I was like, yeah, like I'm not going to play for Casteel. I'll maybe come back my senior year and hopefully, like, the coaches won't hold a grudge against me. But as club took on, I had decided that I was going to play for Rush Volleyball. And Gabe Mann was actually on the twos team with me. So Gabe and I didn't make the ones team, which I feel like kind of upset us both. I know Gabe is super passionate about volleyball as well. So he wanted to make the ones. I wanted to make the ones. But it gave me motivation to work even harder. So we played through the season. Well, Marius, Jaden, Charlie was at Moulton at the time. They were all on the ones team. So I'm looking at Hiram, Justin, Marius, like all of them, and I'm like, man, like, do I still belong on varsity at Casteel? And as we went throughout the season, Gabe and we had an awesome season with the twos team, and then the ones coach comes to talk to me, and he's like, hey, through nationals, I'm not gonna have a right side. So it's either you or it's a kid from Tucson. What do you want? And I was like, Coach, I want that spot. I was like, I want that one spot right now. So he's
No.
like, all right, let's see it happen. So I started practicing with the ones team, working my butt off, trying to own that position. And throughout practice, all I heard from Charlie, Marius, all of them, just, hey, we're gonna win this year. We're gonna kick butt this year. Like, we're gonna win it all. And they're like, Kyler, you should join us. Like, come on, why not have a trophy? Why not get that ring and leave that legacy that we've been talking about in academy at Casteel?
Yeah.
And so that, like, those little things, they didn't realize it, but like it actually, like, it hit me hard, because they're reaching out to me saying that they want me to become a part of the team, which pretty much is a family. So at that point, I knew when they were starting to look at me and be like, dude, like, like Kyler stepped up his game from last year. Like he can actually ball out and we want him on the team. I was like, maybe I do belong on varsity at Casteel. So I started work, started working some more, still working. And we played 2 tournaments. I played 2 tournaments with the ones team. And that was Anaheim and Chicago. And Chicago, it took a turn for the worse for me personally, because I ended up choking to lose the game, which knocked us out. So we took third. And even after I had just choked the whole entire national tournament, Justin picks me up off the floor. Hey, bro, you're good. You're fine. You're chilling. Hiram comes up to me. Hey, don't sweat it. We're coming back in nationals and we're coming to kick their butts. Marius, hey, you did awesome. I don't want you down on yourself. You missed 2 serves the whole game. Like, they're all bringing me up. And that was when I was like, you know what? Like, if I don't play for Casteel, it's not going to hurt anyone except for myself.
Right. Yeah. 100% agree, man. Um, and that's why those guys were captains this year. They win, lose or tie. They're making sure, hey, next time it's ours. It's not this game. Yeah, it hurts, but next game is ours. And if we keep dwelling on the past, it's going to do us any good. And
Yeah.
to have those 3 guys lead this team this year was huge for this team. That's a big reason why everyone's hopes are so high, and that we only had one goal, and that was to take home the ship. So definitely going to miss those guys, but hoping with you kind of seeing their manner and seeing how they treated those who we'll say cost them the game, even though 1 point is not a game. So
Yeah.
it's hard to say that, but I'm hoping kind of you see that, and then your fellow teammates see that as well, and you guys can just kind of pick each other up and just continue working and knowing that you did lose one season, and so that next season you're just going to be hungrier. So
Yeah.
um, let's see. So having said with the lost season and the seniors picking you up, you kind of picked them up as well, and you reached out to your teammates and you made them a video, kind of like a farewell video, and I guess not really an apology video because it's not your fault, but
Yeah.
what kind of made you yourself, I guess, want to make that and do that for those guys?
Well, the first thing I thought of is my own emotions. Like, I put myself in their shoes. I was like, what if it was my senior year and we had the team that we had and it got taken away like that? And I was like, dude, I'd feel crappy. I'd be super depressed about it. I would be like, I don't even know if I want to play volleyball anymore. Um, and I felt like I owe it to them for giving them that negative energy at the start of the season. Oh, I'm not going to play for you guys. I don't want to. I had too much problems. When in the long run, they're the ones that I mean, especially you talked to me a bunch when I was at a tournament about how you guys wanted me to play. Like, I owed that to them for them giving me the awesome year that I had. Even with the couple of games that we played, I had so much fun during the Basha game and the Vegas tournament. They were a blast, and that was why I wanted to play. So I was like, you know what? Us younger classmen, we need to step up and show these seniors how much we truly appreciated them. And so I was like, hey guys, I want you guys to send me a video of you guys just talking about the seniors and how much you guys appreciate them, and I'm going to put it into a video for them. And so I started working on it. It took me about like a week and a half of just like editing the clips, making sure that the boys wanted what they said to be heard. And I was like, all right. I put it together. I was like, let's send it out. And I know all the guys, I'm not in the Snapchat group chat, but Sean Baggs reached out to me and he sent me a screenshot of everyone. And they're like, yeah, like we love it. And like, we appreciate Kyler. And I was like, that's what I wanted. I wanted them to see how much like they were loved and respected, not only on the court, but as a family and a part of the Casteel volleyball team.
Right. Yeah, man. Like I told the coaches, I told Justin, it takes more than like a kid. Like it takes your heart to do something like that. It's not just that's not just something or anyone does. You know, it takes someone with a true heart. And like you said, you kind of did it to make up for the preseason actions and kind of leaving them behind or uh, whatever it was. And I think you stepped up big time. And I know us coaches took notice, and I know your teammates as well that you reached out to be in the video. I know they took notice on that as well. So um, showing them that you can be a true leader and showing the coaching staff you can be a true leader is something that will be taken extremely well going into next year. And we know as a coaching staff, and they know as your teammates that Kyler is that guy. He just stepped up his game that much just by doing that. So being a teammate on and off the court is the true definition, and you definitely stood up to that. So I'm proud of you for that, man.
Thank you.
Um, let's get into what kind of made you fall in love with volleyball. Being 6'8", being athletic, volleyball. Kids either if they've seen it, they love it. If they haven't seen it, they kind of think, it's volleyball. So you could have played basketball at 6'8", baseball, and dominated anything just from your athleticism. So what made you kind of take volleyball and fall in love with that?
Well, it started with a condition that I got from baseball. I had played baseball all my life. I loved it. And I don't want to sound cocky, but I was pretty good at it. I took it. I took that as that was going to be my life when I got older. Like it was going to be baseball, baseball. You know, I've got that little kid dream. I want to play professional. Like I want to get there. I want to work
Yep.
towards it. And come seventh grade, I started to overthrow my arm. I was trying to throw different pitches. I wasn't using my legs as much. A lot of that was actually because I was growing so much, so it hurt to run. It hurt to push off my back leg. I couldn't really bend my knees a whole lot. And so it was just my arm. It was go to your arm. That's what you can rely on. Come eighth grade year, tried out for the team, made the team as a starter, and then I couldn't pick up a baseball and throw it for more than 5 minutes. So I went to the coach. I was like, hey, I have an injury. Like, it's permanent unless I get surgery. And I was like, I don't really want to go into the surgery just to miss my eighth grade year and then be injured most likely through freshman year and then coming in late high school and trying to make the team. And I would have lost all that experience. Like I wouldn't be able to practice. I'd have to go through physical therapy. It wasn't what I was trying to push towards. And so I went to the coach and he's like, hey, well, you can be a DH. And I was like, coach, you know how much I hate sitting the bench. I was like, I like to be out there. I like to be participating and winning. And so I was like, I'm sorry. Like I got to quit. And my dad, he comes to me and he's like, well, so what are you going to do next? And I was like, nothing. I was like, that's kind of it. Like it's sports are over for me. I was like, I could play basketball, but then again, I only played for about 3 years in Utah when I was super, super young. So I was like, I'm not very good anymore. And he's like, well, I used to play sand volleyball, and I'm an eighth grader, so I'm like, volleyball. I'm like, that's a girl's sport. I'm like, I don't want to play volleyball. And he's like, yeah, well, it's actually super fun. Like, you should try it out. So I picked up volleyball. I started peppering, and I was like, hey, like, this could actually be fun. Tried out my seventh grade year over at Payne Junior High. Didn't win a single game. Was super sad about that. But I was like, I like to play. So I was like, all right, eighth grade year. I'm going to try to get some of the same kids from the seventh grade team who thought the same thing about volleyball as I did to try it again.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, let's do it. Played eighth grade. I think we won 2 games. And so like the season wasn't really great for me. But coming into freshman year, I was like, this is what I'm going to do. I was like, baseball's out of the picture. Why not do something about it? Why not change sports and let's get this crap down? So then I started working on volleyball. Wasn't very good my freshman year. We won, I think, 4 games over at Basha. But like as soon as I hit freshman year and made that JV team, I was so pumped and I was like, all right, this is what I'm doing throughout high school.
Okay. That's huge, man. Unlike out here in the West, and now that they actually just switched it over in New England, at least New Hampshire, for after actually since I graduated, it was we didn't have a football team, so it was either soccer or volleyball for me. And I said I'm done playing
Oh,
soccer,
okay.
so I played volleyball. That's what got me into volleyball. And then it was basketball season, then baseball season, and then after I graduated, volleyball moved to the spring with baseball. So honestly, man, like you said, you stopped playing baseball, you picked up volleyball, and I still look at it and I'm like, I don't know what I would have done because I excelled in baseball, and volleyball by far has been my favorite sport to play because you are always doing something on the court. Um, if someone's smoking a ball at you, you're digging it, and then if you want to get back at them, you smoke it back at them. So it's volleyball is such a fun sport, and it's been growing throughout this country on the men's side, and I hope to see it continue growing because, like you said, you're like, yeah, it's not something I'm interested in. And then you start
Yeah.
playing it and you're like, wow, like I'm taking this for the next 4 years and I'm giving it my all. So that's I hope kids kind of understand that, see it, and give it a
Yeah.
try. And I know with the program we have over at Casteel, each and every year you keep seeing more and more kids try out, and that only goes from that's hats off to Cam Brown, to Ponsness, to Justin, Marius, Hiram, you, Noah, and that's all you guys going through the program that are showing these young kids, hey, men's volleyball is where it's at. So
Yeah.
hats off to you guys for that. Um, let's see. We'll go. What would be your message right now to the seniors that are watching, that will watch? What would be your message to them going out? I know you sent the video, but if you were to have them sitting in front of you right now, what would you say to them?
Uh, I would say that I love you guys and I truly appreciate you. And you guys are the one that got me to continue to play volleyball and push me to my limits and got me to the skill level that I'm at right now. Uh, and you guys should all definitely play volleyball in college. You guys are all studs, and we appreciate you guys so much. You guys don't even know it.
Awesome. Sorry about that. Yeah,
You're
and
good.
that's again, hats off to them. Like you said, they've showed you so much, and they've done so much for you and in the program. So that's a great message to them. I hope they all hear it. I hope they all know that you love them, that you appreciate them, and that they definitely are. All eight are good enough to play in college, and I hope they keep playing and just enjoy the game. For your fellow classmates coming up, fellow teammates coming up, what's your message to them going forward? Whether it's to prepare for next year or to prepare for 4 years coming up through high school and the volleyball program.
My message would be to work hard and don't get down on yourself. And even if the circumstance isn't in the spot that you want it to be, that hard work will pay off at some point. We've all
Uh,
been through times where it's like I was talking about earlier. I'm not going to be at that level. I'm not going to be able to pass up this person because they're too good. When really it's just they're putting in more time and work than you, and that's all it is. You got to be able to show the coaches that you want to be there, you want to be on the court, and you want to play some ball.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. We'll end it with this last one. Your favorite memories from volleyball.
Man, I've got so many. I don't like I can't even really choose.
Shoot a couple out.
Um, the first time I ever bounced a ball. So it was, I want to say the second day of tryouts, and Ponsness came, and I had heard so many stories about this kid named Austin. They're like, yeah, he's super good at volleyball. Like he's a senior, he bounces the ball, and we're in hitting lines, right? We've got the three net set up, we've got middles on the left, and then outsides on in the middle, and then I think we were doing right sides or like back row on the far right. And he's behind me. It's me, Justin, and Austin. And I believe it was Marius. Marius was trying to get in rhythm with all the middles, and he set me a ball, and I hit it. And I'm not gonna lie, now that I look back at it, wasn't that great of a hit. It was like 2 feet past the 10-foot line. But I remember he looked at me and was like, "Dang!" And I was like, "Dude," I was like, "That's a senior that I'm impressing." I was like,
Yeah.
"That's a senior that I'm trying to beat," and he's looking at me, being like, "Oh shoot! Like this kid can ball." So
Yeah.
that was one memory where I was like, "Dude," I was like, "Let's go!" I was like, "I got this. I can do this."
Yeah.
Uh,
That's funny.
Another one, I think the Vegas tournament. When I
Yeah.
was on that 10-point serving streak, dude, I was so hyped up about that. I was
Yeah.
like, man, I'm just going to keep serving, play my game, and everyone's cheering me on. They're like, come on, keep going. Like, let's see how far you can get. And so I was giving my whole heart into those serves. I was like
Yeah.
trying to hit corners. I know I hit a couple aces off the back line. So that was a really fun memory too.
Yeah. Awesome, man. I know. I'm pretty sure everyone I've asked, they've all said the Vegas tournament. So
Yeah.
that's pretty sweet, and it's definitely a great experience. And for you guys to have had the lost season, it's cool that you at least got to go to Vegas to experience that and to experience all those great teams out there. So um,
Yeah.
let's see. I've brought this down a few times, but this is called the War
The
Horse.
War Horse.
For those of you who don't know, actually, I got this idea from a coach from back where I'm from. I'm actually going to be talking to him Monday, Jay Starr, and he kind of I saw his team was doing great when he went over to Conval, and he started giving them like the WWE belt. So like the
Okay.
MVP of the game, we get that, and I'll ask him more about that, like what he does with it on Monday. But so I kind of got that idea, and I said, like, what could be kind of cool for the Casteel Colts? And I was like, remember that pony you used to ride when like you were just so young? So I was like, I searched it, and they had it at like Bass Pro Shop. So I got one and talked to Coach Mine and Coach Wilt, and they were all on board. They're like, absolutely, this is sweet. So basically what that is to everyone watching is pretty much the MVP of the game, but not just how many kills, how many aces, just like the teamwork you show on the court, on the bench when you're not playing. So that's just the MVP of that game. So Kyler here was a transfer from Basha High. So the last game Casteel actually got to play was at Basha. Kyler's first time getting to play them because the year before he had to sit half a season. So Kyler had a heck of a game. We went in there, we beat them 3-0, and Kyler ended up getting the last warhorse of the season. So that was pretty cool, and that's why I definitely made sure he was here today for us. So
Dude, it's sad. I look back at that moment when I raised it up, and I was like, if I would have known that this would have turned out like this, I would have been like, this is for the seniors, and been like,
yeah.
yeah. Because it's like, dude, it's like, it literally, like, I think it was, when was the tournament? The tournament was like a week after, right? The
The
Kellis tournament?
Kellis. So Basha
Yeah.
was Tuesday. The tournament would have been Friday, Saturday. Yep.
Yeah, so it was like it literally changed in like 48 hours, and I was like, dude, I like if I would have known that, I would have been like, this war horse ain't for me, coach. Like this is
Yeah.
this is for the seniors.
Yeah. But we'll bring that for the next season and let everyone know that hey, this is your senior. He won this last. Let's take it from where we left off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all right, man. Well, that's all I got for tonight. I appreciate you hopping on.
Yeah,
Really
thank
enjoyed
you
it.
for having me.
Yeah, man, no
This
problem.
is awesome.
Sweet, man. We'll talk soon. Like I said, you got my number. Let me know if you need anything, and we'll get back to it in a couple months. So, all right, man.
Sweet.
Well, I'm Tyler Milbert. I'm here with Kyler Evans, and this is Inside the Mind of an Athlete. All right, Kyler. Take care, bud.
Peace.